What's the deal, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Cultivated Minds. What's going on? What's going on? It's been a long time coming. I know I dropped something the other day, but just sometimes you can sit and you can talk about the inner work. You can sit and discuss a lot of things, but I got to do my own work. Sometimes dropping to YouTube every day and all that's cool, but just like all of us, we gotta work on our own aspects, that we neglecting. We gotta work on the things that, we seeing within ourselves, can't go and keep on speaking on it. And then, you gotta make that time for yourself to be able to start working on you. But I was just thinking, like, sometimes I wonder where I would be, or I'm sure a lot of us think this, if I didn't have certain experiences in my life, if I didn't go through certain things, if I wasn't at different frequencies at all points in my life to see things for what they are as of now and to continue to keep growing and keep evolving as a person. I just think humility is something so powerful, because I feel like if I didn't go through a lot of these things, and when I say that, I feel like a kid who I didn't have to always experience a lot of things. I didn't, always be doing crazy stuff, wild things. For the most part, I can listen to somebody that already went through it, experienced it, and I can listen to them and not have to really go through it. So when I did go through it, it just felt so extreme in my heart. It's something that I really felt like it affected me. So I had to really sit with myself, in silence, whatever it is, and I had to really, go within. I had to really figure out, what do I need to learn from this and how can I move forward? Because it's something that, it didn't happen so often with me. But, I think, like, man, I probably would have been really arrogant, a real egocentric type of person, because I would have kept lying to myself, saying I never could take an L, that'll never be me, things like that. But now, as I get older and I went through these things, I see it like I can always be in the next person's position. I don't care what it is. Obviously I continue to develop. Obviously that's not something that I want to track or that I'm trying to focus on in my life, but you can always be on the other side of the spectrum. And that's why, I feel like I can speak to anybody from all different walks of life. I can learn something from everybody that I meet. We all can. And that's where, that humility comes in. When you thinking that you got it all figured out, it can never be you. You're never going to experience certain things. That's when you probably going to be the one that gets hit the hardest, because, you living in an illusion, you living in a fantasy land, and, it can always be you. I don't care if it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it hasn't, but I just always see it like, I done been through different things to where it allowed me to grow and evolve and to see things from a different perspective, and that's why, I just saying, like, humility is just something that's just so important. I think we just have to take steps towards every single day. I stay prayed up, I stay just giving gratitude every day, every morning. It can be for anything, just the smallest things, because, it's just a blessing that I woke up today. Every day ain't gonna be perfect. Every day ain't gonna be great. I have terrible days. I have terrible days where I just have to sit and it is what it is. Whether I journal today, whether I meditated, went to the gym, I could feel like I was doing everything right. But sometimes, you might have things deep within that you still ain't dealt with. You ain't really done that work, for it to actually come out. But I mean, every day ain't gonna be perfect. Every day ain't gonna be perfect. And some days are great. I might wake up feeling just great. Like everything is going in alignment. Everything's going great. But it's just these times and these feelings and these emotions, the things that I felt, have allowed me to have humility, to help me realize that I can always be on the other side of the spectrum. And I'm sure a lot of y'all have felt the same thing. And just, keeping that in your heart, keeping that in your mind, just realizing that, it can always be you. You ain't no better than the next person, no matter what position you on. I understand, like, in this realm, it's always like, it's social status, status, is power, fame, things like that people use to divide and separate us. But just realizing that, you can always be on the other side of the spectrum. So, you can't stop doing the work. It's going to be everyday work in your life, at all times. And I know some of us might not really want to do it. We can learn a lot of things. But it means nothing if we're not applying it. And I'm speaking for myself too. There's been a lot of times I done went through millions. I done went through a bunch of books, and I feel like I still wasn't applying that knowledge in my own. My bad, y'all. The thing told me that my phone was getting too hot, so I got to find me a little shade place. But I was saying, I feel like I wasn't applying the knowledge in my own life And I heard a quote. I think it says, you don't learn the lesson until you learn the lesson. So, the way that I comprehend, interpret that is, you can read as much as you want, things like that. But if you ain't learned the lesson, you just haven't learned it yet. And it's going to keep on showing up in your life. And, I say that to say, just going back to, having that humility, I can always be in the same place, whether, I'm struggling to learn something, whether I'm struggling to understand what this lesson is, whether I'm struggling financially, whether I have a loss of a family member or a friend or somebody close, whatever the case is, or even if it's me going out, either or, what I'm saying, you can always be in any position at any time of life. And that's just something that I keep in my mind. So, it helps me to remain humble and to continue to remain a student in life, continue to always realize I can learn from anybody. We always can learn from somebody, and, find more and more ways where, you can create and focus on what's gonna make you happy and be the best and most fulfilling in your life. Because, it's a hard knock life. It's always going to be obstacles no matter where you at. You can always think that this position is, you're going to have this when you hear and that stuff like that. But, it's always going to be something that you're going to be dealing with. And that's what, doesn't separate us, And, maybe some people might be watching. Their egos are too big. They too egotistical. They went through so much trauma. Now they live in life they live in life with, trauma responses all day. Everything is, that'll never be me, or you ain't went through nothing, yada, yada, yada. Those kind of thought processes. And, and that's why these people probably continue to get the same lessons, continue to get the same things, because, you think you above something. You think you bigger than, with the whole universe, when we're just a very small spectrum on what's actually going on here. So, one day you're just going to have to check yourself, be real with yourself. And I think that's another thing, a part of just my own personal experience in my life that's really helped me. When I would do certain things, that was wrong, or when I would say certain things, I was getting checked by the people in my life, whether that was a male figure, or whether that was a woman in my life. It was they would always check me for a lot of things that I was doing. So, allowed me to learn from these things and to realize maybe that's not cool, or to, remain more humble and to understand what happened, why that happened. Because, I know some people possibly might have went through things and they didn't have anybody to like to check them. So then it's like, who are they going to listen to? Who are they going to learn from? Nobody. They're going to learn from themselves, and that's where you end up in them situations where people who feel like they above certain things. That was kind of off topic, but back to what I'm saying, just, the power of humility is just important. I think it keeps us intact with ourselves. It keeps us disciplined in our life. And I feel like it keeps us motivated to continue to go on and to stay on the path, realizing that it's always everyday work. It's always inner work that needs to be done, including myself. I can speak on this, and I know, because I know a lot of people are dealing with the same thing, might have went through the same thing and just need to hear it. But, I got to always continue to do the work myself too. And that just goes for all of us, remaining solid, remaining humble with yourself, staying true to you. And just find the things that make you happy, tapping back into that inner child that you have within you, not letting the world and everything affect your vibration. Just try to do that energy work, try to stay in tune with you. Like I always say, just think of it as it's an audience, and you're the only one watching yourself. You got to look at it like you have a clean slate. What is the life that you want to create for you? But that's all I really had to say, you guys. I'm just trying to get you guys to think. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is Cultivated Minds, and I'm signing out.